What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. And break down some news involving Tesla and the new Trump tariffs that could be imposed very soon. Not to mention some new developments on the charts. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 30 in total, and the offer ends at the end of March. So, as far as Tesla's going, we saw this nice little push upon our open only to come back down. We're still technically in this range between 363 and 348, but so far we are looking a bit more bullish for the markets to start things off. The market saw a bit of a dip in the morning, but now we're seeing buyers defending. And the question is, will we continue to pump or are we going to get a dump? I'll talk more about that in just a couple of minutes. Most of us talked about some news. One of the reasons why the market is trying to push is because there's been a lot of talk about a new potential trade deal that could be made between the US and China. They could once again try to ramp up China's purchases of American goods and investments in the US, according to reports. This is what many US officials are considering, so we'll see how this goes, at least thus far. There are not specific details disclosed yet, but there's been a lot of talk about this, and this is going to be very, very important. On top of this, there's been a lot of talks about how we could be looking for a big shift in automotive, semiconductor, and pharmaceutical imports around 25%, according to reports. Donald Trump did mention 25% is a possibility, but not a guarantee, as we're going to wait and see how negotiations end up going. So keep that in mind. That's what we're looking for, at least thus far. This is very, very important for the markets, but this optimism involving the Chinese deals would help the market push to some extent. And then we have other stocks such as like Tesla, which were doing really, really well. We had some more good news that came out about the Cybertruck. It got a 5-star rating from the NHTSA, despite some claims being made about it. It got a 5-star safety rating, so that's great news for the Cybertruck. And then going down to this, you guys could see that the overall rating is 5 stars, which is very, very awesome. It just goes to show how safe it tends to be. It has a 5-star rating for the driver, and a 4-star rating for the passengers. So, looking at just specific details, the frontal barrier star rating got a 5-star rating for the drivers. This tested a head-on collision between two similar vehicles, and it just goes to show how safe it is for the driver, and it's very safe for the passenger as well. The overall side star ratings 5 stars. This is just basically hitting a side pole just to see how damage ends up coming. Same thing with collisions at intersections. They tested that and it got 5 stars for both the rears and the fronts. And the list goes on, guys. They have more things just like this. So I think this is good news, at least for the Cybertruck, getting good ratings. It's very, very awesome to see that. And I hope that Tesla continues to develop great products like this. Teslas are known for being very, very safe. And I hope that that's known as well for the broader public out there. We know that, but I hope everyone realizes that Teslas are still very great for safety and factors like that. So, what's going to be affecting Tesla in the market now? Let me just make it very clear that the market dipped, but now it's trying to bounce. It's looking bullish, and we're looking for Tesla to try to retest 363. But whether or not we continue to break out for the markets or if we get a rug pull is going to depend on this. Today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the FOMC minutes. This is when we're going to be listening to see what the Fed has to say. We're going to be listening to see what these Fed officials have to say and what their opinions are about interest rates and the economy. So I expect some high volatility at 2 p.m. That's a couple of hours from now. Be ready, guys. In about 2 hours, this data will be coming out. It's going to be causing a lot of volatility. So be ready, guys. Do what you have to do. I'm just here to give you guys a heads up about this. So as far as Tesla goes, if the FOMC minutes cause another pump, you want to see Tesla close above 363. If we do that, we're going to be in the potential to run to the 370s, especially thanks to this inverse head and shoulders like structure. Right, there's a left shoulder, a headed and a right shoulder. It does look more bullish, at least technically speaking. Let's hope that the FOMC minutes help us. If it's the opposite and we get a rug pull, we want to see Tesla lose 348. If that fails us, we could be looking for a big move back down towards the 330s. So it could go either way. For now, we are trying to break above this wedge. So we are a bit more bullish looking for Tesla, but this depends on the data. So get ready just to be safe. For SPY, we're looking bullish because we dipped again. It's about the 609s only to bounce back up. So we're making a higher low. We need to lose 608 and then 605 to turn bearish. As long as we're above that, we are favoring upside. The setup is still a bit more bullish, but we have a tough resistance at 612.5-ish, or very close to that area. If we break past that, we're looking for 615 as our target. So if we get a decent FOMC report, this is the FOMC minutes, the reports, if that's good and this pumps the markets, that could cause the market to push for 616 to 615. If we get a rug pull and we end up losing 608, we could be dumping to 605. Could go either way, but for now, the charts do look a bit more bullish. There's a lot of optimism as we approach the minutes reports, so get ready for that. So far, so good from the markets. For the QQQ, we dumped all the way down to about 536. I was calling out how I was anticipating a bit of a dip that was coming, but then we got bought back up. So now we're getting bought back up. If we continue to hold above 540, we're looking for an attempt for 542.5 plus. If we lose 535, we could dip back down, but this is still looking a bit more bullish, and that tends to favor the upside a little bit more. Looking at the Russell 2000, we dumped to about 225 and then we bounced. So I want to see it reclaim 226.5. If that's the case, we still technically have an inverse head and shoulders. The setup is a bit more bullish. ES looks a bit more bullish as long as you don't end up losing 6120 and 6100. We're favoring a push for 6168 for another big move to the upside. So far, I think we're doing a great job and there is potential in these charts. ES is looking bullish, has a very, very nice setup so far. So far, we're doing a great job and we have more potential. So that's another good piece of news. I also want to mention that if we end up breaking past 61.68, we're looking for a bigger pump. For now, the bulls have a bigger edge because they're continuing to buy up the markets. So we're doing a good job. I think that we're looking quite promising thus far. For others out there, we also happen to have NQ. NQ is looking a bit more bullish because of the fact that we are seeing buyers defending. So we dipped quite a bit. We actually saw a bit of a dip only to get bought back up. As long as we're above 22,182, we are favoring a full recovery and an attempt for 22,300. Also, as long as you don't lose 22,000, we're technically favoring upside. So for now, the market looks bullish. Will this last? It depends on the FOMC minutes, so just keep that in mind at 2 p.m. For others out there, we have Bitcoin trying to rebound so far, looking for an attempt for 96,500 or above. Inverse and shoulders like patterns so far, this does look a bit more bullish, trying to target 97,000. Looking at Nvda, we dumped quite a bit back down to about 137, only to bounce. As long as we're above 138, we could try to get back up to the 140s. If we lose 138, we could turn back down, but this has potential to try to rebound and make a full recovery. So there's potential in this chart. Tesla once again has potential, but we'll see how this goes. So, like I said before, as long as Tesla ends up getting back above 360 and we could hold it, we will favor upside. Will it last through the FOMC minutes? We'll see about that. For now, the market looks bullish. Looking at Apple, we have a triple bottom and recovery. I did mention to you all that it could dip and then bounce, but so far there's potential for us to try to get back up to about 247, especially because they unveiled the new variant of the iPhone 16. I think the iPhone 16e has come out at $599. So good news for Apple so far. It's getting bought up a little bit. So far, so good. For a few more out there, we have Coin. Coin dumped to about 260, only to get bought back up a little bit. If we could reverse off 260, there could be 265 coming. Amazon is going to be testing 225. If we break past it, we're looking for 228. There is some upside potential. Meta dumped really hard to about 700, but notice that buyers are defending the 700 area. So the question is, can we hold 700 and bounce? And can we reclaim at least our key EMAs? So for now, if you look at the daily, this rebounded and we have this gap to fill. So if we could hold above 700, we could see a little rebound on Meta. So watch and see if 700 holds. Microsoft is trying to bounce here. We're going to be looking for an attempt for essentially 412. I see that as a very, very strong possibility on the daily time frame. And last but not least, we have Google looking a bit more bullish, looking for 187 and 189 as our targets. It has a double bottom, so I see potential in this. With that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. The market is in a very, very critical place. There's more buyers who are defending, and Tesla's looking a bit more bullish. I want to see it break 363 though, and then whether or not we continue to break out depends on the minutes. So get ready for this big data coming in at 2 p.m. We'll see what the report gives us. This is not a conventional FOMC meeting. There's no speech by Jerome Powell. It is simply just the report on paper. So keep that in mind, guys. Thank you all so much for listening. Market's looking a bit more bullish, so is Tesla, but we'll see depending on this data. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Get ready for 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and peace out.